Welcome to Chase Talks. My name's Chase, and today I'm bringing you our Week 4 Battle of the SAPL SAPL. And your Gary Southshore Raikous are going to take on the Arktic Absols. We're coming back after a little bit of a break. It's been a little bit. We had a couple days of no uploads. We had 2 days of no uploads. That's okay. It happens sometimes. We're going to go back to our twice daily uploads. Starting today. Today's going to be the first day of bringing that back, but I needed a break. It's been busy, and Halo was irritating me. No, but that's not part of it. But, I mean, it could have been part of it. But, as always, with all of our league battles, link is in the description to bypass the team below. Otherwise, I'm going to hop right into it. So, in case you can't remember our roster, I am going to throw it up for just 1 second. And now running down my opponent's team roster, he's got Mega Venusaur, Bisharp, Alolan Ninetales, Rampardos, Swellow, Cloyster, Garchomp, Rotom-heat, Alola Mola, Swack, and Xurkitree. Now, the one difference on this team from when I faced him is that he did not have a Swack. He actually had, oh man, I'm forgetting which, he had a different fighting type. I don't think he actually brought it, but he did have a different fighting type. But it wasn't Swack, and he ended up trading for Swack. I'm pretty sure it was Hitmontop. Pretty sure it was Hitmontop. Yeah, I'm like 90% sure it was Hitmontop. Yes, it was Hitmontop because he did bring in the battle. Spoilers, the battle was already played. But, so he did have Hitmontop before. Since then, he has traded it. I didn't have a picture of his team before he made that trade. Boo on me. But that is what they're. So, looking at his team, the two things I was really worried about, or some of the things I was really worried about, was Mega Venusaur. I was very worried about that. I do have 2 Psychic types on my team. So I thought that could really kind of cover up for the hole that Mega Venusaur kind of puts in my team. Otherwise, Garchomp is always scary, especially Scarf Chomp. Scarf Chomp would kind of outspeed and just rip through my entire team. It would shred me. So that was very scary. I also was afraid of Swellow. Swellow always has the ability to put in a lot of pressure. The Alola Mola Mirror match scared me a lot. And Hitmontop, Rotom-heat, and Alola Ninetales putting up the Aurora Veil are always just super scary defensive options and nothing that I really want to fight with. And of course, Cloyster and Xurkitree also have good sweep potential as well. This is an open Z move league, so any Pokemon can carry a Z move. So Xurkitree can roll with the Z Psychic, so I also had to be really careful with that. But the first Pokemon that I did decide to bring was our Ozai, our Fire Lord Entei. He's just put in so much work for this team, and I think that the majority of my wins, if not all of them, have been on the back of Entei. He's just been such a key component of my team, and I couldn't have asked for a really better fire type. I love Victini. I almost said besides Victini. I love me some Victini, but I picked Entei instead this time because I wanted the extreme speed pressure, and I wanted Sacred Fire's pressure for the 50% burn to help out my Excadrill, and that's exactly what Entei is going to be doing this match. I'm running Choice Banded, 116 speed to kind of give it the ability to outspeed some threats on his team, but I'm not going to try and outspeed everything on his team. It's just what I can naturally outspeed. I was really going for the 116 because I wanted to outspeed max speed Venusaur. So if he does decide to go like a max speed offensive Mega Venusaur, I do outspeed that. I also put Sleep Talk on this thing, so I have Sacred Fire, Stone Edge, Extreme Speed, Sleep Talk. The main reason I ran Sleep Talk was in case he would spore me. I almost said spore me with his Mega Venusaur. I didn't want to get spored. I didn't want to get put to sleep. So I did run Sleep Talk, so I do have the ability to attack. And then just 252 in attack with an Adamant Nature. With the Choice Band, of course, to put out as much Sacred Fire damage as possible, and Extreme Speed damage too. But Sacred Fire, nothing anywhere is really a switch in to Sacred Fire on anyone's team. Banded Sacred Fire does so much damage, and it has been awesome so far, and it can definitely put in the work and get the chip damage I need for the next Pokemon on our team to have the sweeping ability, which is our Han Solo, our Latios, with the Choice Scarf, Psychic, Thunderbolt, Draco Meteor, and Defog. It is my only form of hazard removal on this team out of the 6 Pokemon I brought, as you can see on the spoiler bar. Though I do have Rapid Spin on Excadrill as an option, I did not decide to bring it this week. 60 points in HP, 252 points in Special Attack, and 196 in Speed. And the 196 in Speed with the Timid Nature is meant to outspeed. I think I just went up to, Garchomp. That's a Scarfed Jolly Garchomp. And that is exactly the reason why I brought a Choice Scarf Latios. I was very afraid of Scarf Chomp. Scarf Chomp would open up a lot of holes, especially even Poison Jab against Primarina, Earthquake against my team. My team's very weak to Earthquake. Very weak to Earthquake. Dragon Claw, Choice Scarf, Dragon Claw with Oko, Latios. So I brought the Choice Scarf in order to outspeed and Oko a Garchomp with Draco Meteors. That was my main purpose on this. Otherwise, Psychic and Thunderball is just good coverage. Hit everything on his team. And then Defog as my form of hazard removal. The next Pokemon I'm bringing is our Serena, which is our Primarina with the choice specs. Torrent is its ability. Moonblast, Surf, Ice Beam, and Energy Ball. I got 92 points in HP, 252 in special attack with a modest nature, and 164 in speed. Now, the 164 in speed was just to kind of outspeed like everything that I could from a base speed perspective. I'm not going to outspeed everything on his team, of course, but I wanted to outspeed as much as I could without going into a timid nature. Of course, I wanted to stay modest and giving myself a decent amount of bulk. So there was some things that I chose to not outspeed, but kind of I just hit that speed tier to kind of hit things with Moonblast, Surf, Ice Beam, Energy Ball, just kind of put down that damage on stuff and get as much damage as I can. Serena's purpose, or Siren's purpose, I don't know why I said Serena. Primarina's purpose is to kind of just be a breaker. Primarina's purpose is not to sweep this week. It's just to kind of soak hits and do as much damage as it can. Just break something. If it gets kills, cool, it gets kills, but that is not its purpose. It's meant to break his team. It doesn't Oko anything on his team, I don't think, besides probably Garchomp with Moonblast or Ice Beam. Ice Beam, definitely, it Okos. But just kind of if I can get a Moonblast on something, an Ice Beam on something, a Surf on something, or an Energy Ball on something, just that damage will put me in a good position with my other Pokemon, like my Ozai or my Han Solo, and kind of put them in a better, more sweepy position. Speaking of more sweepy position, the next Pokemon on the team is our Vicious, Stone Edge, Earthquake, Thunder Punch, and Dragon Dance. Our Mega Tyranitar with Sandstream, 252 in attack, 252 in speed with a jolly nature, 4 points in HP. I decided to go max speed on this thing. I'm not really outspeeding anything on this team at max speed, but I decided to, besides his non-invested walls, I decided to do that so when I get the Dragon Dance up, I have better ability to outspeed things. Thunder Punch is for his Alomoa. I was very afraid of his Alomoa. This does have the ability to set up against his Alomoa. Then Stone Edge just does awesome damage, and so does Earthquake. Even like a +2 Stone Edge, like even his, if I get 2 Dragon Dances up, even his Mega Venusaur doesn't want to take that. Vicious just does all the damage, and I can take a Giga Drain from his Mega Venusaur, so I can't actually get that second Dragon Dance up against Mega Venusaur. And the next Pokemon on his team is my Pooh Bear, which is my Excadrill with a Life Orb. I decided not to run a Z move this week. I needed the Life Orb damage with Sand Rush, Earthquake, Iron Head, Rock Slide, and Swords Dance. 252 in HP, 220 with the Jolly Nature, and 36 points in HP. I decided to run 220 because that is the speed tier I can hit to outspeed things when I'm not in the sand. So I wanted to be able to outspeed these things in the sand. I'm already going to outspeed everything else in the sand because it doubles my speed. Nothing on his team is that fast. Even Scarfed Swellow goes nowhere near me. And the last Pokemon on our team is none other than our second Psychic type, our Gallade, a Lancelot with a Choice Scarf. Justified is its ability, just in case we get knocked off, but I probably wouldn't live it anyway. Close Combat, Psycho Cut, Leaf Blade, and Rock Slide. 252 in attack, 4 points in defense, 252 in speed with a Jolly Nature. This thing's main purpose is just get damage down. It can be a cleaner if something else falls down, and just to put damage on that Mega Venusaur. I'm really worried about what Mega Venusaur could do against my team. It gets good coverage. I mean, Earthquake, Giga Drain. It gets just such good coverage in general for my team. It can put in a lot of work. Venusaur gets access to Outrage starting in Gen 7, so it just has all around good coverage for my team and the team I'm going to bring. So I was really afraid of that, so I decided to bring both my Psychic types. I chose Scarfing both of them. Mainly for the Garchomp, because if Garchomp isn't Scarfed, I'll be able to get damage off on it. I won't be able to kill it, but I'll be able to get damage on it, and it'll put it in a position to die to another one of my Pokemon. Alright, well, it's a team, so I'm going to cut until we are in the battle. Now, looking at his team and what he decided to bring, he did decide to go with the Garchomp, the Mega Venusaur, the Cloyster, the Swellow, the Hitmontop, and the Rotom-heat. Now, when I was looking at this screen with the team that I brought, I was trying to decide what would be the best Pokemon to lead for him and what would my best way of countering it be. Now, I really thought the best lead for him would either be Cloyster, Garchomp, or Swellow. I was really sure it was going to be one of those three. And I'm a Choice Star Latios, so I was like, if he leads his Garchomp, thinks he's choice scarfed and thinks he's gonna outspeed me, he can just outspeed me and just hit me with the Dragon Claw. No, I outspeed Draco Meteor. He leads Swellow. Oh, I can just get some Boom Burst damage off. Nope, I outspeed Thunderbolt Oko. I knew Thunderbolt Oko'd his Swellow. I knew it. That Draco Meteor Oko'd his Garchomp, and I'm pretty sure that Thunderbolt Oko'd his Cloyster. I could have been wrong on that, and it could have just done a lot of damage. But if he tried to Shell Smash on me anyway, I'd been like, bam, Thunderbolt, and I'm pretty sure I would have killed it. So, looking at that, that is actually what I decided to lead, and we're going to start the match. So we're going to see what my opponent decided to lead. Now, I was really hoping, like I was just talking about, that he did end up leading the Garchomp or the Swellow. That was the two biggest things that I was prepping for with this Latios lead. And what my opponent actually does decide to do is lead his Garchomp. Now, I know I outspeed this Garchomp. Nothing on his team wants to take a Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor is going to do so much damage, it's exactly what I'm going to do. And he does decide to switch out, so something on his team is going to take heck of damage from a Draco Meteor. And he ends up switching to his Rotom. Rotom's going to take this fairly well, but it misses! Ooh, it misses, so I don't get the chip damage off. I'm just going to go ahead and switch into Vicious here, which is my Tyranitar. I know as long as I don't get burned, there's nothing that this really can do to me damage-wise, but that's exactly what he does do. He decides to go for the Will-O-Wisp and burn my Tyranitar, which is unfortunate, but I still know, I was kind of calculating this looking at the damage. I can go to +1 with Dragon Dance, and I'll still be doing like 50% of his HP, at least with Stone Edge, without even the +1 while burned. So I can still do this thing, it's still not doing any damage to me, so I kind of feel there's no downside of just Mega Evolving and just going for Dragon Dance and seeing what he wants to do. And what he decides to do is switch out and go into the Hitmontop. So the Hitmontop's Intimidate's going to go off, that's good that I know it's that is Intimidate, not Technician, most likely for my Excadrill, my Tyranitar, but which it seems like that's going to be his primary switch since he switched into that thing right away. And I'm going to get the Dragon Dance up, but I am not going to stay in. At this point, I was kind of wondering what is going to be my best switch into this thing. What's going to take the least amount of damage from a close combat, because I know that's what's coming at my face right now, because close combat would just end Tyranitar's world. So I am just going to switch right into Mega Latios. Mega Latios would take a lot of damage, but, or not Mega Latios, normal Latios. I don't know why I said Mega. Or Han Solo here. I am going to switch into Han Solo. Han Solo is going to take that damage the best out of all the Pokemon on my team. And he actually decides to pull the double, which brings him into Swellow, which is perfect. This is an exact situation I want to do. At this point in the game, he does not know I am Choice Scarf. And I can just kill I can just click Thunderbolt, and Thunderbolt always KOs his Swellow. Unless he was like some crazy bulky set or he was Choice Scarfed himself. And I do just pick up that kill. So Latios picks up his first kill of the game, putting a mark on the board as he switches into Garchomp. At this point, he knows that I am Choice Scarfed. There's nothing that my Latios can do right now against Garchomp, and I'm not losing Han Solo, my ace pilot, to this Garchomp. So I'm just going to switch into Siren. I'm going to make the obvious play, which he does actually predict and go for the Poison Jab. And Siren is not going to take that nicely. I am sorry, Primarina, but you almost got O-code by that. And we do find out at that point his Life Orb, which is good because now I know 110%, which I already guess I knew, that Latios outspeeds everything on his team. So I know it's not Scarf Chomp. So it actually frees me up and gives me more options. And I do pull the double here back into her Vicious. In case he did decide to pull another Poison Jab. I thought getting up the Sun and kind of sacking off Vicious wouldn't be a terrible, or getting up the Sun, getting up the Sandstorm, the Sand, not the Sun, and sacking off Vicious wouldn't have been a terrible play here. But he decided to also switch out into his Rotom here, maybe thinking that I was running two Scarfers, but I'm not since I was running the Choice Spec. So I do just decide to go to Stone Edge here, just kind of get damage off on anything, and that does so much damage to his Rotom as he goes for an Overheat, which does negligible damage to my Tyranitar. My Mega Tyranitar in the sun has in the sand, oh my gosh, I know I keep calling it the sun, in the sand has such high special defense. It can tank for days, it can eat all that, and he's not going to want to take another Stone Edge. So I definitely thought he was going to switch out here, so I actually decided to go for Earthquake to get his most damage on whatever switches in. So what he decides to switch into is his Hitmontop, which is going to put me at -1 and burned on this non-stab Earthquake, which is going to do 0 damage to this Hitmontop. This Hitmontop could eat all of my Earthquakes all day. That does little damage, and then after Sandstorm and Leftovers, it's going to look like even littler damage. But, so here I was kind of looking at my team again. I really didn't know it would be a best switch in, but I really think Latios is my only check to this thing on my team. So I'm going to switch right into Latios. It's really the only thing that can take a close combat. Even Gallade doesn't want to take a close combat very well. since I am running a very offensive Glade, and it has very bad defense. So I'm going to take that close combat. It brings me down to about 50%. But I know this thing is not going to live a Psychic, especially at -1 Spadef. In no world is it going to live a Psychic. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to click the Psychic. I'm not going to make any predictions. I'm just going to attack and kill whatever it is in front of me, and we're going to see what he decides to switch into, because nothing on his team can take 2 Psychics at this point, and he's going to decide to sack his Rotom. So Rotom takes the Psychic and is KO'd. So that's Latios' second kill on the board as the sand subsides, which is good, so I'm not taking any more chip damage from my own sand, and he switches into his Garchomp. Now I cannot Oko Garchomp with Psychic. I need Draco Meteor to Oko Garchomp, so I am just going to switch out and switch back into my Siren, sacking it off at this point. There's nothing that Siren could really do, and it could take, I guess, Earthquake the best on my team. Actually, if I would have stayed in and went for Psychic, I would have 2-hit KO'd him. But the ability for him to just click Dragon Claw was what scared me into switching out, and Serena was just a free sack for me in that point. I see that he is running the Life Orb, or I actually saw the Life Orb before when he poisoned jab Serena. Now I can just switch into Han Solo. Nothing on his team wants to trigger Draco Meteor. I can just switch Draco Meteor, praying for not a miss, because if I would have missed there and his Garchomp would have killed me, that would have been very unfortunate. And he does switch into his Cloyster. Cloyster, you don't want to take a Draco Meteor. You're a sack at this point. And our Latios is going to pick up his 3rd kill of the game. Latios definitely looking super strong. Scarf Latios doing exactly what I wanted it to do this game. And he brings right in his Mega Venusaur. At this point, there's nothing I could do with a -2 Latios, and my Han Solo can do a -2 against this Mega Venusaur, so I am just going to switch right into my Ozai. He is going to Mega Evolve after pressure goes off. Got a lot of shiny sparkles on my team. I like a lot of the shiny sprites, and the Entei has to be shiny for it to have Sacred Fire and Extreme Speed. But he actually decides to go for the knockoff here, which we're going to see in a sec. Yep, he uses the knockoff, which is going to get rid of my Choice Band, which is really unfortunate, which means my Sacred Fire is going to go from doing about 50% to doing about 40%. So I'm going to take a good damage decrease, but I am going to chance those 50% burns, because at that point it can do nothing to me. This Earthquake would be neutered. So it's not going to get the burn. I'm not going to get the 50% burn, and he is going to get the Earthquake off on me, and that's going to do good damage. At this point, I know I'm going to outspeed it. I knew I was going to outspeed it going into this match. I'm just going to click another Sacred Fire to get more damage on this thing and make sure that Latios can kill it, and we see him go for a Synthesis. And I'm like, oh no, is he just going to try and stall out all my Sacred Fires to just have as high HP as possible? But I'm going to try and get that burn, because the burn's just going to put me in a better position if I get a little bit of extra chip damage on this Mega Venusaur. And make it so his Earthquake's not doing that much damage. He doesn't want to, I guess, try and get burned or do the Synthesis War, because he just goes for the Earthquake there and takes out my Ozai. So Ozai's down. At this point, I'm just going to switch into Latios. Again, nothing on his team wants to take 2 Psychics from Latios. This is kind of the move around my team and maneuver my team, manage my sacks until I can get my Scarf Latios in that can KO something. So I'm going to get the Psychic off here, which is going to take out his Mega Venusaur. Latios, not Mega Venusaur, picking up his 4th kill of the game. Latios has just been so clutch this game as he switches into Garchomp. Still can't Oko Garchomp with Psychic, so I am just going to get out of there. I don't want to die to a Dragon Claw as I switch into my Lancelot, because I calc that Lancelot lives an Earthquake and a Dragon Claw from this thing. Lancelot is a strong boy. Look at that damage. I live it. And now I'm going to be able to go for a Scarf Close Combat, which is going to put it in range of Psychic and is going to secure the game for Latios, because Latios is going to be able to kill both his Hitmontop and his Garchomp with Psychic. I'm going to die to rough skin damage there, which is unfortunate of my Latios, or my Lancelot, but Lancelot did his job perfectly in this game. I couldn't ask for a better job of Lancelot, of our Glade there, which is a Pokemon that hasn't really shined so much on my team. I haven't really felt super comfortable with it. It hasn't really done amazingly well. So Psychic's going to go here, and it is going to kill off the Garchomp, and the Hitmontop is not going to live. That is his final Pokemon. It's definitely not going to be able to take a Psychic. But GG to my opponent, Ben. I definitely think he played well this match. I know getting kind of 6-0'd by Latios, but it ended up being a 3-0 game, so he didn't actually lose really bad. If at any point in that game I would have positioned Latios wrongly, he would have just beat my team, because at that point I would have nothing for Garchomp. So it was definitely in anyone's game at that point, but Ben played really well. And that's going to be it for this video. I don't really think there's anything else I'm going to say. We got Week 5 match coming up really soon, so look forward to that. And we're also going to have the Week 6 match coming up on Sunday. So Sunday we're going to get back into our normal groove of when these videos get uploaded. But our Week 5 match is just going to get posted on probably tomorrow. If not today, it'll probably be posted tomorrow. But thanks for watching. Remember to rate the video, comment the video, and subscribe so you never miss another episode of Chase Talks. Until next time, this is Chase, signing off.